Yo, 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 what's going on, everybody? It's your boy X the Creator coming back at you live with another Movie Monday review special. Okay, today is February 2nd. You guys will be viewing this on the 3rd. I hope you're having a great Monday so far. But got two movies that I want to touch base on. I already gave a review or a uh, little quick screening of what two movies I'm gonna be covering though. But for the people that did not see that, those two movies, the first one, I am. I'm sorry, I am. Oh yeah, I Am Mother, right? And the second one is I Robot. Okay, now I Robot came out in 2004. I Am Mother came out in 2019. Okay, both of these movies are robotic based. Okay, now as far as I Robot goes, we're just gonna start from the one that came out quicker. By the way, y'all see the light, right? Last week, it took me like 3 tries to film last week's movie Monday because I did not turn my mic on. Right. Sorry about the noise, guys, but yeah, it took me 3 tries. Okay. Oh, I just got a price trigger. Got me a notification for a price trigger to buy some stock. That's good news. But anyways, now, but yeah, so iRobot came out in 2004. The setting of the movie came out. I'm sorry, came. The setting of the movie was in 2035. Yes, yeah, 2035. So that's 10 years from now, by the way. That's 10 years from now. It's 2025 now. So think about that, right? So essentially with this movie, Will Smith actually is the main character. If you haven't seen the movie, go see it, go watch it, make some time, create some time, and go watch that movie. Now, he is a detective, and out the gate, some craziness going on, right? There is a doctor commits suicide, and they want Detective Donnell or Spooner to save the day, quote unquote, Satan, but really it was the hologram of the doctor that sent Dr. Spooner to the crime scene to essentially solve his quote unquote, Mr. Murder, right? Mystery murder, or they think it's a suicide because he jumped out the window. But during this time, they was about to make the excuse me, the largest announcement of like the newest and best robots ever made to mankind. Right? Think about it. They're living amongst robots. In the very beginning of the movie, there's a FedEx robot that comes to your door and delivers mail. Imagine that happens right now, because in here in a little bit, I feel like we on the verge of stuff like that where machines are taking humans' places because it's more efficient for the company or corporation to essentially save money and make money off of robots. You know what I'm saying? It's cost efficient, and right, robots they're not late from work. They don't have emotions. They don't have families. They don't get tired. So think about that first of all. So out the gate, like I said, it's a FedEx robot delivering mail to people at their front door. And Detective Donnell, he he's already kind of suspicious about these robots. He was having nightmares about them, and we're gonna touch on that at a later time. Um, but yeah, I mean, like it's a very futuristic city. There's underground transportation. I think all the transportation's off of energy, I believe. Like there's no gas, except his he actually saved a motorcycle, right? He has a gas motorcycle, believe it or not, though. But everybody else is into this new world. They bought in, like I say, it's just a way of living right now. And with the underground transportation, though, it makes you wonder though, like what is underground? Like whose idea who came up with that idea for the movie? You know what I mean? Like we've seen like cathedrals, and this is you can read about it, you can look into it. This is gonna be more of a raw footage. I'm not gonna edit this one, so you can get the natural emotions and responses here though. But like you can look it up. I think I can't remember like where exactly it was though, but on the East Coast, it was um it was like a cathedral, like some church, and they found some like hidden passageway underground under in the church. You know what I mean? And who knows what's down there? First of all, so if they got that, I guarantee you, I believe there's got to be more. There's got to be a whole city, if not cities, underground, right? So that's a whole other conversation right there, though. So we ain't gonna get too far on that, though. But yeah, living amongst robots, futuristic cities, underground transportations, right? And there was even a projection saying that there was one robot to every 5 humans. Think about that. There's one robot to every 5 humans. People was having robots in their houses like it was a maid, like a butler. You know what I mean? Think about that. Think about that. Isn't that kind of like bizarre to imagine? To me, it is. You know what I mean? Because I had an idea. Well, I'm gonna get back on it. I ain't gonna forget this one though. But it's a bizarre thing to believe, to think, right? So detective was trying to solve this suicide or murder. Cut through the meat of the story. This new and improved robot that the doctor was actually manufacturing. It was which the doctor actually foreshadowed. He was trying to warn people about it. He was saying that these robots was going to have consciousness or higher consciousness. Um, they could be able to think for themselves and be able to recreate their own thoughts and essentially evolved themselves, right? Um, and usually when that happens, there's going to be a rebellion or a revolution because now the robot's going to think they have emotions when it's just a machine. It's just metal, right? And they're going to want to revolt, rebel. You know what I mean? So that's the kind of synopsis I give you right there for that right there for iRobot. Now as far as I Am Mother goes, I Am Mother. Now this plot is more of now out the gate. Let me just tell you, the mother is a robot, right? And I Am Mother obviously has a child. It's a daughter, and so the mother is teaching the daughter, obviously, but the robot is playing mother, teaching the daughter. I said the mother teaching the daughter. Now, keep in mind that this is post apocalyptic events for this setting in I Am Mother, right? Now, what the daughter does not know, the daughter thinks that there's no other living forms outside of the bubble they're in. They're inside. It looks like a spaceship inside, like one of them Star Trek's interior, um, little whatever you want to call it, spaceships, I guess. But it looked like they inside of the plot of Star Trek. You know what I mean, or something like that, some futuristic. So um, she thinks humans are extinct. Like there's no survivors. She thinks she's the only one, and this robot is just taking care of her. They call the robots droids in this movie, and up until the daughter, so they have no names. They ain't never really registered names in this movie. It was just mother and daughter. Um, the daughter was one night. The daughter had heard something, and it was very curious. It was about to go outside and heard some noise, and there was some sounds, and she found another human, right? Found another human, another living force, and at that moment, obviously starts thinking deeper questions like, why is there life outside of what we live in? Because I just knew nothing could be living outside of that. And keep in mind, before that, there was a rat that snuck inside that bit the wires. So so the day before that, actually, she knew there was some living force because there's no rat that's gonna live in an apocalypse or a place that's like that is biohazardous. Like no thing's gonna be able to live out there. That's what the robot was telling this child, right? So the day before the child met the human, she saw the rat. So she was like, okay, started thinking. That's where the curiosity began before she found the human, the other woman. Um, and the woman was like, hey, I got shot, I just need help. You know what I mean? And she was trying to just find cover. Like nobody knows where she got shot from, who shot her. You know what I mean? And this child is just, I mean, it's like maybe a teenager daughter. and just mind's blown. It's a new world. Think about it. Like she's in a bubble, and the real world is coming to her right now, fast. Real world's coming fast. That's kind of like life too. Like we live in a bubble until we get outside of our mothers or our parents' nest, and that's kind of what happened in this movie right here, though. So, um, one thing I want to touch on the similarities of these two movies, I Robot and um, I Am Mother. I don't know why I keep struggling with the name of I Am Mother. Though. I don't know why. I keep wanting to say I Am Human. I don't know why, but I am a human. But either way, the one similarity I want to touch on is oneness, right? And that's a universal law as well. If you haven't looked up the universal laws that we have, look those up. It's a thing. So universal law of oneness, right? So in iRobot, when things got chaotic and this anomaly robot was able to like have emotions and feel, and it was essentially evolving in front of our eyes, like the doctor said, and the doctor made it this way so it could rebel and be able to change pretty much reform the way the humans were looking at robots, because it was it was on a way extreme path of just robots ruling the world, taking over, right? And that's, I believe that's what I think the company name was, like URS or something like that. I don't know, in the movie. Um, but essentially, the owner of the company was kind of corrupt. He had like ulterior motives. It's very demonic motives, right? Makes you wonder, was it the not the manufacturer, but the his idea to make these robots? It makes you wonder, like, are the humans more demonic than the technology they're creating? You know what I mean? Like, cause like this technology we have, I mean, like, it makes you wonder about these technologies, these things right here. Like, are these demonic in a way? You know what I mean? Just think about it like that. What were these meant to do other than help us reach things quicker, right? Were we supposed to? Side note, that's a side note. Let me get back on track here though. But um, as far as, like, where was I? See, that's why I be having a docket trying to figure out where I was though. So the universal law of oneness, right? And so the similarities between these two, they was talking about that, how in iRobot, when that one, like I said, anomaly robot went rogue, it was able to control all of the other robots and have one mind, right? It was able to have one mind from this one robot. Once they lethal injected this robot with like nanos, that's a little spoiler alert, okay? Um, and after that, these all these other robots that was like it was like like I said, it was like the master robot, the one that he created. It was, they all turned a certain color, like their heart was red, or it was like a red center or whatever. And you could tell whenever it was thinking on that other end, right? It was they were all in unison, right? It was one mind, but different bodies. As far as I Am Mother goes, same thing. When the daughter ended up asking deeper questions because it was told certain things, and then once it met this outside entity, this other human, this woman, because this daughter was trying to find a human connection, an emotional connection with another person that was like her and not the robot, because like there was a major disconnect. If you watch the movie, you should watch I Am Mother. Really good movie. Makes you think. It was trying to find its connection, and once it found that connection with the other human, that was talking, got close, and the woman was making her think and think about those tough questions within. You know what I mean? Those questions that we all have to ask ourselves sometimes, right? It's not going to be easy, but it's the questions that helps us evolve to help us use our own mind, our logical mind, logical way of thinking, right? And once she was able to do that, she rebelled, she like the robot did, and the robot was called Sunny and iRobot, um, like Daughter and Sunny did, both of them. So the similarities. That's another one inside of rebellion, though. But the oneness was right before she was about to try to kill Mother. The mother was like, "Well, even if you do, there's still like it was still me, cause like it was, the daughter met like other robots outside. It was a whole thing, you know what I mean? And they all are like one heartbeat, different bodies, one heartbeat. That's what Mother said, right? And so the similarities with that we can be able to bring that in life is that we are all one. We're all one heartbeat. You know what I mean? We are all one. There's a unison in all of us, right? If we look at other people as us, we'll find we'll find a lot of commonalities. We really will, right? Because we all are one. We are human. There's only one race. It's the human race, right? No such thing as black and white. You know what I mean? Man made that. You know, um, all these things are just labels to make sense of what man wants to make sense of. You know what I mean? If we think about it like that, we're all human at the end of the day. It's the only thing that matters, right? So we're all one, and that's the trinity of the movies like I Robot, I Am Mother, and this reality, right? Like we all are one, universal law of oneness. Okay. Now the second point is rebellion. Like I mentioned earlier, I kind of spoiled that one though. But as far as rebellion goes, with Sonny and iRobot rebelling against his masters. First of all, before I even touch on the rebellion, let me touch on the laws. They in iRobot, these robots had laws while they were living amongst humans, right? So let's touch. I had to write these down because I ain't gonna remember what I'm gonna do with remembering these laws, right? Ain't no robot. All right. So the first law: a robot must not injure a human or allow a human being to come to harm. Okay. So that's the first law. So they cannot injure any humans or allow a human being come to harm. So like let's say if another human was trying to like rob somebody or you know anything can happen. The craziest thing you could think of where a human might potentially be injured, a robot could potentially save the day. Scenario actually in the movie was a robot saw people drowning and it saved the one with the most likeliness to live, right? The better odds. Like it was percentage of like four people was potentially about to drown, and who could I guess who was more likely to survive out of those four, and it saved you know the person with the higher odds, right? So a robot must not injure a human or allow a human being to come to harm. That's the first law. Second law: a robot must obey the orders given by humans unless it conflicts with the first law. So that gets you wondering right there too, huh? So what if a human tries to sell their robot to injure another human? It can't do that. You know what I mean? But I'm sure we all could create a lot of scenarios with these first two laws. But this third law, think about this one. This third law gets your foot tapping a little bit. Okay, so the third law: a robot must protect its own existence. Not owner. I'm sorry. Let me read this one more time. A robot must protect its own existence as long as it doesn't conflict with the first two laws. A robot must protect its own existence as long as it doesn't conflict with the first two laws. So, with rebellion, if a robot must protect its own existence and they were going to put down Sonny, if you was in Sonny's shoes, what would you do if you knew about these laws, which they did? They were programmed to. You know, Yeah, so with the rebellion and these laws, okay, they rebelled the laws essentially though. But man, that got me thinking right there. I'm just reading it again. But yes, robots was essentially just rebelling in iRobot, and like I said, it was just that oneness of all of them off of just that one robot. It was that one anomaly that started the whole domino effect. Okay, and then as far as the rebellion goes in I Am Mother, the daughter rebels because the essentially the robot or mother was playing mind games with her. And it wasn't even playing mind games, it was just not telling them all of the information, just a little bit of the information. And when that third person came in, that's when spirit comes in the room, because you only got two people. There's only what they say and what she says, and there's nobody else to come in and be able to, hey, this actually is another way. You know what I mean? So once you had that trinity of those people to come into that room, that's when the spirit comes in, and the daughter was able to have some sort of discernment and be able to think. You're like, you know what? It's only been us two my whole life, and I only heard your version of the story, right? I've only heard your version of this story. That's your story, his story, and this other person came in, and that was the mystery, right? What's this mystery right here? Never heard of it before, you know. So then that's when daughter rebelled. I was curious because I ain't never heard this. It sounded good. The grass sounded green on the other side. You know what I mean? And long story short, the other person lied to her. You know, everything she told it was bits of the truth. Again, like I said, it was bits of the truth, and but not the whole truth. Just like mother, both of them had those selfish tendencies. Like they was trying to do what was best for them instead of for the girl. But the girl has to think for themselves essentially. Right? That's our own job, is to think for ourselves, right? Once we become of age, you know. And and with that rebellion, though, it like I say, it led to the daughter attempting to assassinate its own mother. When even if it did, its consciousness would just go into another body. You know what I mean? Or it still be there. You know. So with that rebellion, it was very interesting to be able to like view and witness and see. You know. So with that being said, as far like with the rebellion goes, there's a third one I just kind of thought of as well with the similarities was free thought. You know, being able to think for oneself. You know, so let's jump back to iRobot. So iRobot with Sonny, the doctor gave Sonny special abilities, and those special abilities was to be able to feel his own emotions as a robot. Now I want to relate this to, actually, before I touch on this one real quick, I want to relate the rebellion with our reality, right? And right now, I believe the people are rebelling with all this stuff, this craziness going on. There's a lot of stuff that doesn't add up, like the synchronicities of the things and the innuendos, the hidden messages, doesn't add up. It's almost like we're given one thing but shown another. With that being said, I want to remind you guys, whenever Rome was doing things right, first of all, why do we say when the Romans do, we do what the Romans do or something like that? I don't know why we say that. But when the Romans, look into when the Romans built the Colosseum. First of all, what does the Colosseum look like? It's a stadium. When they was doing these games, these Coliseum games, what were they doing on the political side? Look into that. What were they doing on the political side? And then if we say do as the Romans do, if we have these stadiums or these Coliseums, what's going on the other side in our reality? Think about that. Huh? Think about that one. That's a deep one, right? But the third one with the free thought. So Sonny, the doctor gave Sonny special abilities to be able to think freely. As a robot, it's supposed to be programmed to do what the humans say, follow orders, instructions, right? Almost as if like, because the robot actually even um, called the doctor father, I believe, yeah, called him father. That was his creator, and he he had love for him, right? He started thinking about certain things, asking questions, trying to become like a human. Excuse me. Oh my, oh yeah. And he was trying to become like a human, and you could see the brain or the wires churning. You know, you know what I mean? And it was like I said, it's almost like a little child growing up, learning from their parents and being able to use that knowledge and have some discernment and look at the outside world and think freely, right? So in that time, a lot of people were not really thinking freely, other than Doctor what's the name, Doctor Spooner, Detective Spooner, and the doctor really, because Detective, he was already against where robots was going because he had an idea based off of something that happened to him involving a robot, where he could see that the robot didn't have a heart, and its choice was, it was strictly percentage wise. It wasn't emotional based. There was no ethos, right? There was no emotion involved in um in the uh in the decision making of a robot, right? Which leaves out the humanity part of the disconnect from human and robot, right? There's no emotion there, right? And let me touch on this real quick. I actually wrote this down though. Like as a collection, like, do y'all think we're afraid of our own emotions? Because like think about the stuff that we're going through on a day to day basis. We're really not allowed to kind of sit on some of our emotions because we're in this system, we're in this big loop, and we just constantly go, wing, and we're not allowed to sit down and have some discernment of the things that we went through sometimes. And sometimes it's not normal. It's normalized to look over them. It's normalized to to not talk about them. It's normalized to think one is weak for talking about their emotions, male or female, mainly male. Got to be the man of the house, but ain't he human? Wasn't I saw something in a movie, or it might have been a clip where let's say, give me an example. If a robber comes in the house, as a male and a woman, or husband and wife, and a robber enters their home, and the man gets up out of the bed. Both of them in bed, right? They're sleeping. The man gets out of the bed. He has his gun. He goes downstairs to see to catch the robber. Robber's not there anymore. He's outside of the house. Who was scared? Who was scared? The woman or the man, or were both of them scared? Right now, so whatever your answer is, who's allowed to talk about how scared they were, and who's allowed to listen to the one who was scared? Think about that, right? Think about that. So with that being said, with the emotions, are we as a collective afraid to deal with our emotions, right? Because when you go within, when you go into your darkness, your own darkness, you find light, right? You find that light. Some people are, some people might not like the dark places though, but I feel like when you go within, you find the answers, you find the darkness. You can transmute those that negative into positive, but you have to find it first, right? Now, with the emotions for our robot, so now let's go to I am mother. The mother was trying to feel like a human. Like it was trying to like joke and everything with daughter. It was like I said, it was trying to be God, almost like God. And let's talk about this, right? So, and since this is a whole different topic, I'm gonna keep it brief. And like if the robot, like I said, and I am mother was essentially trying to play God or man in a way. So if we know that some men might try to play God, at what point will a robot try to play man or even skip the man aspect and try to play God? Think about that though. That's very scary thought to think about too when we put so much trust or power behind these robots. When it's almost like we're trying to get away in this reality. It's almost like we're trying to get away from mistakes or flaws as if that's not human. You know what I mean? Like as if that's not okay. Like we're normalizing things to an extent where people look at those mistakes and flaws and be like, "Oh, you can't do that. You can't be human. You have to be perfect." But that's the beauty of being human is making mistakes and learning from those mistakes. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing in ain't nothing in life perfect. We're not gonna know everything, right? I believe you know this whole life experience while we're in these, let's say, meat suits, we're a soul living in this flesh. Every moment is new. Like this is a new moment right here. Us talking together, us having a conversation, us talking about these two wonderful movies. When you wake up in the morning, that's a new experience. That's a new day, right? That's the newest day at that moment, right now. When you wake up in the morning, you won't never brush your teeth again in the morning on February 3rd of 2025. It's only one moment like that, right? And we get to create that moment. So, like I said, it's almost like we're veering in this reality. We're going towards perfection when we're already perfect, right? Our our imperfections are perfect. You know what I mean? Our imperfections are perfect. Who said Gates? Yeah, Kevin Gates song. Yeah, perfect imperfection, and we need to embrace that as a whole, as a collective, because once we create these things, these robots, which I believe we're on the verge of doing right now. These movies are insinuating it, right? I believe it because where did the idea come from? This movie didn't just magically appear in somebody's consciousness, somebody's brain, and for it to not be potentially becoming a reality. No, it's not. It's not coincidence. It's not a coincidence. I don't believe. It's a reason, right? Trying to desensitize us to an extent. For when it does happen, then we'll be like, oh yeah, I seen that in that movie. It's normal. No, it's not normal. It's not. Right? We're giving way too much control to this AI and not. And I feel like essentially it's trying to live forever to an extent, trying to live forever, right? Because this is only supposed to be a temporary thing. It's supposed to enjoy life in this human form. It's supposed to enjoy life and be the light in this human form, right? But yeah, so those are the things I kind of want to talk about with iRobot and I Am Mother, and I don't want to talk too much about it because I'd be spoiling a lot, and it's a lot to talk about with these two movies. These are two great movies. iRobot came out in 2004, and I Am Mother in 2019. iRobot is way ahead of its time, which the plot of the movie is actually coming up on the time. So y'all should watch those movies though. But once again, this is X the Creator. with another Monday movie special review. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. For the ones who did, share this with a friend, like, comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel. But until then, y'all take care. Peace.